The implementation phase of software reverse engineering. During our lesson on the concepts and processes involved in software reverse engineering, I did outline all the processes involved in software reverse engineering. That is, the implementation phase, the design phase, the analysis phase, and the requirement phase, respectively. So for the purpose of following the standard procedure involved in software reverse engineering, I'll begin the software reverse engineering process with the first phase, that is, the implementation phase. But before I proceed to initiate the implementation phase, let's do a recap about the overview of the implementation phase in order for you to have a better understanding and know what the implementation phase is about. In lesson 5, which was about the concept and the processes involved in software reverse engineering, I stated that the implementation phase is for the purpose of gathering information about a software to be reversed in relation to its basic functionalities, its graphic user interface design, its system requirements, and its specification by operating the software to be reversed in its operational interface. And in terms of the importance of the implementation phase, I said it provides software reverse engineers with a better understanding of the functionalities of the software to be reversed, and as well as the overview of what to expect during the software reversing and source code reviewing. It also enables software reverse engineers to easily identify any hidden or malicious functionality or script, aside the software main outline functionalities. For more details about the importance of the implementation phase, refer to lesson 5, which is titled The Concept and Processes Involved in Software Reverse Engineering. With both our sandbox environment and disassembling tool fully set up, let's now proceed to install the software to be reversed in order to gather some information in relation to its functionalities, its requirements, its specifications, its graphic user interface design, and any other relevant information that will aid in the reviewing of the source code and its reversing. The link to download the software is in the description box below. Caution and disclaimer: the software which is about to be reviewed for the purpose of software reverse engineering and source code reviewing was randomly chosen strictly for educational purposes, so please don't maliciously exploit the software for any malicious reasons. With the software to be reversed fully installed, let's begin with our information gathering. It's important to note that for the purpose of record keeping, report writing, and documentation that will be court admissible, I recommend you to always document your findings and your observations during the implementation phase with graphic evidence such as screenshots or even screen recordings. From the dashboard of the software, it's obvious that this software is a keylogger, in other words, a spyware, with its basic functionalities clearly outlined in the left panel of the menu box, which is to capture every keyboard stroke, to take screenshots of the desktop activities, the web browser activities, and the images of the user of its host computer. Aside taking screenshots and recording keyboard strokes, this software is also designed to record both video and voice over Internet protocols calls made using its host computer. So just by looking at the graphics interface of this software, we've been able to ascertain its functionalities and the category of software it belongs to, which is the spyware software category. And since this software is categorized as a spyware, we will have to look out for hidden functionalities and malicious scripts during the software reversing process and source code reviewing. In summary, Based on my observations and the information I have gathered from the interface of this software, I can conclude that in terms of software functionalities, this software is designed to capture every keyboard stroke, to take screenshots of the desktop activities, to capture all web browser activities, to take videos and pictures of each user, and lastly, to record both audio and video calls made on its host computer. And aside the supposed functionalities that I have outlined, this software may also have a hidden functionalities like tracking each user and stealing each user's data to a remote server, since this is a characteristic of most spywares. Let's now explore the software for more information gathering, starting with the menu options on the menu bar. Upon clicking the File tab on the menu bar, I see 5 different options. That is, the Save Report As option, the Send Log option, the Page Setup option, the Print and the Exit option. But for the purpose of demonstration, I will randomly choose only 2 options to explore information from. The Save Report As option will be my first option. From the Save Report As dialog box, the default save option for the auto-generated report by this software is either in .htm or .html file format, which are both web page format files. Let's see if there are more save format options in the Save As type drop-down list. From the drop-down list, users have only 2 formats to save their report file in, which is in either a zip file format or a .html web page format. Based on the Save As options of this software, it is obvious that this software specification in terms of its Save As option format is either .html web page format file or a zip format file. While the requirements of this software in terms of accessing or opening its save generated reports is either a zip software application or a web browser like Mozilla Firefox, the Safari browser, the Chrome browser, or any other browser that supports a .html file format is required. Back to the File menu drop-down option. Now let's choose the Send Log option as our last option to explore under the File menu drop-down list. From this display banner, it's obvious that this software requires an activation in order to be able to mail its generated report to any preferred email address. So in terms of software requirements, this software requires a form of an activation in order to be able to mail its generated report to any preferred email address. Also from this same display banner, payment is a form of specification in order to be issued out an activation code to mail the auto-generated report to any preferred email address. On the note of software activation, I know most software developers, software engineers, and software users often want to know how to crack or bypass the activation of a software. But really for educational purposes, I will only highlight the part of the source code that can be manipulated in order to bypass its activation requirement, since I wouldn't want to be sued by the software developers, as well as to also encourage and promote software developers who seek to make living out of their hard work and innovations. Let's now explore the Tool menu option. Under the Tool menu is the Settings option, the Settings Wizard option, and the Uninstall option. But again, we can't explore all the options here, so let's just choose only one option to explore. I'll choose the Settings option. From the Settings option panel, it seems that all the functionalities of this software has its own dedicated settings. But for the purpose of our illustration, I will only limit our information exploration on just few of the settings options here. But I highly recommend you to always take time to explore every option there is in the software before reversing or disassembling it. Let's begin our information exploration in relation to the settings of this software with the login settings. Based on the right panel login settings options, this software gives its users the option to adjust the login settings by choosing to save keyboard stroke logs, the logs of screenshots taken, website activities logs, clipboard capture and instant messaging activities logs. And on the screenshot settings options, the software gives users the option to adjust the time interval in relation to screenshot taking. Also, the option to control the quality of captured screenshots, and the option to whether or not capture the screen of any newly opened window or capture the screen anytime a mouse is clicked. Let's make a quick glance through the rest of the settings, since this illustration is for educational purpose and not a review of the Refox spyware. Based on my observations, doing the quick glancing through of the settings option, I noticed that both the instant messaging settings option, the clipboard activities capture settings options, the program activity capture settings option, and the computer activity monitoring settings option all have no settings options relating to it. While the webcam settings option has the same setting options as the screenshot setting option. Let's explore the View tab and the Help tab for more information gathering. Upon clicking the View tab, as clearly shown on the screen, has two options, that is, the toolbar icon option and the language choice option. But since both the toolbar icon option and the language choice option all qualifies as a specification of this software, there is no need in exploring them for more information. So then, let's move on to the Help tab, which has four listed options. That is the online frequent answered questions option, the support option, the get full version option, and the about option. Though all the outline options listed under the Help tab menu are all relevant and great source of information gathering for software reverse engineering, they are both considered as irrelevant in the case of our software reverse engineering illustration. Finally, based on my observations and exploration of the Refox spyware for information gathering, the following are the information I have personally gathered in terms of the software's functionalities, its requirements, and its specifications. It's important to note that the following outline gathered information didn't only provide us with the overview of what to expect during the software revision and the source code reviewing. It will also serve as an evidence in our research findings during the documentation phase. Aside providing us with what to expect during the software revision and source code reviewing, the information gathering process also prompted us to be on the lookout for any malicious scripts or hidden functionalities aside the main outline functionalities of the software, since the software is categorized as a spyware. I hope you equally gathered your own set of informations in relation to the software's functionalities, its requirements, and its specifications. Now that we have gathered all relevant information about the software that we will be reversing, it has to be analyzed in order to know what to expect during the reversing process. That is the design phase, the second phase of software reverse engineering process. So try and analyze the gathered information in order to be able to determine and to identify the functionalities, the requirements, and the specifications of the software to be reversed during the source code reviewing, which will be our next lesson.